What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is John Paul Investing. So what exactly happened yesterday in the markets and why did we see such a steep correction in the markets? So my video from a couple days ago did not age very well as far as Nano Dimension and I guess the general markets. We did not expect Nano Dimension to go sub $10 and especially not within, a day after I posted that video. But it happened. The markets are manic and can do whatever they feel like doing at any point in time that they feel like doing so. I think a lot of it had to do with inflation figures and the fact that bond yields did become a little more attractive over the past couple days, and there was a little bit of panic that there was going to be interest rates rising across the board, but we already had Jerome Powell come out and tell us otherwise, that they don't plan on raising any interest rates anytime soon. And because of what he said, I think that is why the markets did recover as much as they did so quickly. So we saw maybe like a 20% drop in some of these stocks, and we have since recovered at least 10% on a majority of those. I personally believe that there is really no coincidences in life, and this was essentially a stop hunt, a raid on short-term investors who used stop losses and things that would essentially protect them, and that smart money actually ended up buying the dip, and we are going to continue to see a either sideways momentum carry out for the next maybe few weeks, or we might start to inch up finally now that we saw this pretty steep correction happen. So I'm going to be covering Nano Dimension and giving you my thoughts on Nano Dimension's stock price and giving you my new price targets now that we did end up breaking beneath $10. Now, before I got into the video, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. This way you get notified when I make videos just like this one, and it's a way for you to show your support for the channel. If you would like to know exactly when I buy or sell specific stocks that we talk about here on this channel, then I highly recommend you guys check out the link in the description to the Patreon group. We are so close to 200 members, and as soon as we hit 200 members, I was going to start doing private live streams. It'll be a nice place for us to hang out in a private group and weed out the trolls and talk a little bit more personally about our goals. And lastly, don't forget your 2 free stocks from WeBull using the other link in the description. All you have to do is open an account with them and deposit $100, and then you will get your 2 free stocks, and then you could sell these stocks and do whatever you want with that money. Or you can keep the stocks. It's entirely up to you. My point is it's literally risk-free money, guys. So first, I want to show you guys how the portfolio is doing, because I haven't done it in probably a couple weeks now, or a few weeks now, that I've actually shown the portfolio. If you want to have access to my portfolio at any point, you can just join the Patreon group, because I share my portfolio there pretty regularly, and any new positions that I do take. But this is what we are looking at right now. So those in my Patreon group already knew that I sold cash secured puts on Sensonics and Nano Dimension, and a majority of my portfolio is within these 2 stocks right now, besides my Bitcoin holdings. And these 2 stocks make up essentially my entire stock portfolio as of right now. I am looking to get back into Tesla, but I had to pay some bills and I just simply cannot buy Tesla right now. But as soon as I get the chance, I am going to load up on Tesla again. So on a 1-week chart, we are looking at a 24% loss. But if you look on the grand scheme of things, guys, besides the daily and the weekly chart, we are sitting very green here on this channel. On the monthly chart, we are still green. The 3-month chart, we are still green. The 1-year chart, we are still green, and all time, we are still very green, guys. If the companies you're investing in are growth companies, you will see a lot of volatility, and that is something that you could always expect in companies that are still coming into fruition. Remember that if you are in primarily growth stocks, you will likely see 20-30% drops just like what we saw yesterday. So it is not entirely out of the ordinary. If you are invested in companies that are considered growth stocks and you can't stand looking at the volatility, then these stocks are not for you guys. Unfortunately, there are negative Nancys out there who only like to comment on red days, and it's unfortunate that they have to come and attempt to bash my videos or my opinions whenever I do let you guys know my honest thoughts on what I think I'm looking at in the markets. I had someone try and call out my Patreon post saying that I had no idea that it was going to go to below $10. It doesn't matter what price I think it was going to go to. My point is that I saw the markets going lower. It is impossible to know exactly what price we are going to go to, but based on previous offerings, based on previous history, and the fact that pretty much the entire market, on at least the tech sector, was starting to inch lower, I had a good feeling that the stocks are going to move lower. And I'll blur them out just because I don't think they need a presence on my channel. So as I said earlier, guys, Jerome Powell did come out and say they're a long way from the Fed's goals, and the central bank has no plans to raise interest rates or reduce bond purchases anytime soon. Despite a recent pickup in growth, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell told Congress Tuesday that the economy is a long way from the central bank's goals, and policymakers have no plans to raise interest rates or taper its bond buying stimulus anytime soon. In other news, there was a lot of buying on the dips. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy purchased an additional 19,452 Bitcoins for a total of $1.026 billion in cash at an average price of $52,765 per Bitcoin, bringing their cost basis to around $23,985. As we can see here on their website, this is the press release for this. If you guys would like to read it, simply go to MicroStrategy and then go to Investor Relations and scroll down. You'll see it on the left side. Here's another case of buying on the dip. Kathy Wood buys 13% dip in Tesla's stock as the ARK Innovation Fund slips again. And in Wood's own words, corrections are good and they keep us all humble. Tuesday morning's plunge in popular tech stocks offered a rare discounted buying opportunity for true believers in these companies. Kathy Wood was among them. And right before we get into my Nano Dimension price targets, I just wanted to say that if you are going to be in these stocks, it is essential that you believe in the businesses that you are invested in and that you still do your own research besides watching my videos or any other videos here on YouTube. You have to really understand what you're putting your money in, because when you see drops like this, it might be very difficult for you to hold on to it, and you might end up selling at a loss just because you didn't exactly know what you're invested in. Do research here on YouTube, but then look at it with your own eyeballs off of YouTube, look at filings, look at press releases, and really try and figure out what exactly you're putting your money into before you actually put your money in it. Because if you can't handle the volatility in these stocks, you will absolutely burn yourself, guys. So essentially right now we are sitting at what was previously resistance, which is now acting as support above $10.50. And this green circle that you're looking at here is essentially an area where a lot of stop loss orders or trailing stops possibly were. And I think that the markets ended up taking these investors out of the market yesterday. And right now we are sitting at, again, what was previously resistance as support. So essentially, if you were chasing the stock and at one point this candlestick was fully red, so right now it's green, but at one point this candlestick was completely red. So if you were to panic sell and then start to see it rise and then chase stock price, you would have essentially diluted yourself out of any shares that you previously had. So let's say you had 1,000 shares. If you would have chased it, you probably would only have around 900 shares right now. So that's why I say it's really important to understand what you're investing in, because then you won't dilute yourself out of your position and try and chase and time the market perfectly every single time. You'll focus more on dollar cost averaging your way into the markets and accumulating more in the business that you researched about and really like. Guys, you have to understand what you're putting your money into. So anyways, now that the markets have essentially reset, I think that this is going to create new opportunities to move higher in price. I don't think that it's going to be a quick move, and I think we're going to see some consolidation for a little while, shaking the short-term investors out of the market, and eventually we'll make our way back above $13, possibly trade sideways again, and then slowly make our way above $18 and looking for possibly $20 or $21 in stock price, and then a pullback to test this level of $18, which was once previously resistance, as new support. So our price target is $18 right now. So right now the short-term price target is around $13. Once we reach that and we stay above 13, we want to be able to see price slowly make its way beyond $18 and to break $18 and then test it as support. Now I think it's going to take beyond the March expirations for the options. I think we might see price make its way to around $18, maybe around the end of March. I think the market reset that we experienced yesterday, the correction is going to keep the markets a little slow for a little while and is going to shake people out of the markets as they look at their positions red for quite a while. And if you're impatient, they're going to wait for them to sell out, and then maybe they'll start to move price up again. The point is that the big institutional investors want opportunities to buy stocks cheaper, not more expensive. So it was just about time that we saw something like this happen. But this makes me a lot more bullish now because we essentially had the correction happen. We had Jerome Powell say interest rates were staying low, and we had a lot of investors stopped out of the markets, meaning that big money essentially got shares in these companies a lot cheaper yesterday. So now that the buying opportunities presented themselves, I think that this is going to prime the market to move higher. So that is my thoughts on the market movement yesterday. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about, and if you had the chance to average in a bigger position yesterday, it would have been an ideal place yesterday to do so. But that's all I had for today's video, guys. If you liked what you're watching, please go ahead and hit that like button, and while you're down there, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I make videos just like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.